I do welcome you to Bible Times. I'm Willard Pless. And today I want to talk to the church world. And I know the church world has went to sleep. And I want to talk to the church world and maybe help some way to get somebody to listen, to wake up. See, the Bible teaches that the church will fall by the time that Jesus returns, that the church will be fallen. And what that simply means is they'll be falling asleep. And they'll not be understanding the truth and seeing what's really going on in this world and what's happening. And Jesus said in Matthew 24, about blessed is the servant that gives meat in due season. Now what that means is when you're giving meat in due season, that means you're talking about what's going on, what's happening, what's taking place right now in this world. And that's what we want to point out. But the church is not seeing this. The church world's not seeing it. The church world's not giving it. The church world has went to sleep and is not giving what's really going on today in this world. And the Bible teaches that about the Jewish calendar. See, the Bible was written to the Jewish people. And then Jesus came and he started the church in 33 A.D., and he sent Israel, the apostles, to the world. Go to all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. And that's what's been going on. And we've been in this time for a long, long time. And I'm a part of the church world. I came to repentance in 1968. And I entered the church world. And I began the Lord called me to preach, and I've been pastoring churches ever since that time. I recall back when I was first saved, I was not in a church. I was not a church person. But the Lord put me under conviction, and I got up on Sunday morning, and I had an old car outside I was working on, and I was rebuilding the motor and doing different things too. I was going to fix me a super up car. And I went down there. My wife and boys were still in the bed asleep. And I went down there and I put on my old greasy coat, and I started to go to work, and I couldn't go to work. So I pulled the old coat off and throwed it back in the old car and went back in the house and walked around a little bit. I went back in the bedroom and I told my wife, I said, get up, we're going to church today. And she got up and we got ready and went to church. And that's the day I was saved. And I'll never forget that. And then I felt the call to preach. And I started preaching, and I went going everywhere, filling in for church people and for preachers who's out on vacation or gone somewhere or something. And I would fill in, and one day the pastor of the church that I was in, he said, come in here, I want to talk to you a minute. We walked in the nursery there. And he said, if you're going to preach, he said, why don't you let us ordain you? And I said, what's that? He said, well, we'll license you to church. And then at the end of the year, if everything's all right, you can be ordained. And I said, well, that sounds pretty good. So that's what I started doing. I started listening to man then and listening to the doctrine. And I made a mistake there. But it didn't end everything. I went on, and I've been in the church world for 57 years, more than that now. I pastored for about 57 years, and I know the churches went to sleep. The church world today is carrying on just like it has been since I've been in the ministry, talking about this and that through the scriptures, but not really understanding what the Bible's talking about, what the Bible's giving. They read it and talk about it, but they don't understand the meaning of it. And I'm trying to help the church understand the meaning. Come and talk to Jesus, and he'll start giving you meaning. What does it mean when he taught something? When he talked about the 10 virgins there in Matthew 25, what do you think he's talking about? He's talking about the church world. That's what he's talking about. Because see, he's in his last week and he's giving this, and he's wanting the church to wake up. The church world went to sleep just like Israel did, and not really seeing. See, Israel had went to sleep when Jesus come, and they didn't understand that about his visitation. And he told them that. He wept over Jerusalem and said, if thou only knowest the time of thy visitation. And now the church world went to sleep, and the church world's not giving what the Bible is talking about. The church world's talking about the rapture of the church, but the churches went to sleep. And not even talking about the true meaning of the scriptures, and talking about what's going on about the beast and the end time days and the false prophet, and talking about the signs of the times and what's going on and the season of the time. Jesus gave in Matthew 24, he gave the time and he gave the season. But he said you can't know the day or the hour. So we can't know the day or the hour, but we can know the time and the season. We're here. We're in the time and the season for Jesus' return. See, 5785 of the Jewish calendar ended on September the 22nd here in 2025. And 5786 has begun. And 5786 points out that this is the year that Jesus will come, that he will return. Now, I know that the Jewish calendar, they've got it ending on September the 22nd and 5786 beginning. But see, that's not the true calendar. The Bible calendar goes till March the 19th. On March the 19th is when 5786 will really begin. 5785 will really end on March the 19th here in the year of 2026 that we're in. And this will be when Jesus come. That when we get into, when we start the month of Nisan, that we realize that this will be the beginning of the 7th millennium. So the 6 months here, from September the 22nd until March the 19th, a lot of things are going to be taking place. That America has become the new Babylon, and America has went into Jerusalem and conquered them by flattery. And President Trump is treated as their king. And that's what's going on right now. And things are going to continue here. And the Bible gives all of this. The Bible teaches it. And you need to understand what the Bible's talking about. So wake up, church. My goodness. I don't hate the church. I'm trying to get the church to wake up. I'm still very much a part of the church. I've been a part of the church and been pastoring churches in North Carolina and Alabama and one in Mississippi but I'm not in the sleep of the church. I see what's going on. I understand what's happening. And I want the church world to wake up. I want it to come to realize what is really going on in this world. See, Babylon's back. Nebuchadnezzar's back. The false prophet has been revealed, and we know the false prophet started back in World War II. The 10 horns that the Bible talks about is the 10 presidents from World War II, starting with President Kennedy through Obama, 5 Democrats and 5 Republicans. And President Trump sprouted out the 10 horns and came to power, and Daniel said he would show up when Israel was back 69 years, and they were back 69 years in 2017, and that he would be taken down. See, Nebuchadnezzar was to be taken down for 7 times. And when that happened with President Trump, that was the 7th time. And so when he came back in 2025, see, this is what the Bible is teaching. And we're in this time, and things are going to be happening with Israel. It's going to be deceived, and finally they're going to turn President Trump off after November the 22nd. And Israel's going to be flooded. Jerusalem's going to be flooded. And the Bible teaches that. And this was going to be the abomination, desolation that Jesus talked about. And we learned that this is going to be coming by January. That'll be showing up. And when all this is done, see, this is when Jesus moves into the heavens and the resurrection comes, and then the marriage supper of the Lamb takes place there in heaven. And then Jesus comes to earth to take all this down. And he cleanses this world, all the evil. He takes Satan and put him in the bottomless pit. And he takes the beast and the false prophet and put them in the lake of fire. And those that have followed him and received the mark and become part of what's going on in this world. And the church world helped get President Trump to come back to power. Many churches met and prayed for that to come about. And the church is deceived. And the church world is asleep. And so you need to wake up. You need to come to understanding and wake up. If you're in the church and the church is not talking about what's going on in this world right now and what's happening, you need to start trying to get them to wake up. And I'm saying, wake up, church. Wake up, because this time's here and Jesus is going to be coming soon. And you don't want to be asleep like the 5 foolish virgins when Jesus comes and the marriage supper of the Lamb takes place. So that's what's going to happen here soon. And so you better wake up and get ready, because this is what's coming about. And I hope you'll do that. Call on Jesus, get him in your heart, walk with him, fellowship with him, and he'll give you the truth. He'll show you the truth. He'll do that. And so I hope you do that. And so God bless you, and you have a great day.